Hello and welcome to episode 2 of Riptide TV, our very own TV show that we look back on the week's event in bodyboarding and try to provide a little bit of insight into what happened and answer your questions that you might have on bodyboarding. I'm your host Michael Saunders, the editor of Riptide, and with me is
Dave Heavyside, publisher of Riptide. So thanks for joining us. Well, we might as well get into it. Let's not muck around. We were a little bit stiff last week, I guess, with the delivery of the whole thing, so we're going to try and loosen it up a little bit.
maybe get some beers.
But maybe we should get some for next time. There is maybe a junior audience watching, so
yeah, okay.
But anyway, we aren't
chocolate milk.
We're not limited by anything, but here we go. Well,
do you want me to start things off?
Might as well. Let's get cracking into it. So what have we got first up?
First up, the Riptide Report, or the Report. And we're going to go through a few little quick events in bodyboarding. And I'm going to start things off with the Shark Island Challenge. It has been called off yet again this year. Well, not for the whole year, just for now. Basically, that was because the swell that they anticipated last week wasn't nearly as big as they originally expected. It ended up coming down to about 4 to 6 foot. And when I had a chat to Alex Leon, you can see it in our report on the website, kind of said that it doesn't really display bodyboarding what he wants to see, you know, for the Shark Island Challenge. He wants to see Shark Island in the biggest and, you know, craziest conditions to help promote that event as much as possible.
Cool. Also in the Riptide Report is a women's wetsuit range thanks to Reflex. Ryan Hardy's brand, they're bringing out one for the ladies, so that's awesome news. They've teamed up with a couple of riders, Lily Pollard, Sophie Jane Leathers, and also Rio Clark to design some specific women's suits, which is awesome to see, and awesome to see them supporting bodyboarding. And yeah, on to the next thing.
Yeah, it's good that there's finally some women's wetsuits in there. Next thing, item number 3, Seamus. Shambles McGoldrick. He's we kind of said in our last episode that he, you know, had a heavy fall and he's was in hospital. He had massive surgery actually because of a broken femur.
That was heavy.
Yeah, it was hectic.
Check out the story on the website if you haven't already.
And so we've since found out he's put a post on Facebook. He's actually put a photo of the incident, and it looks like he's kind of doing the scorpion there. His legs are kind of folding up on a big wave at Riley's. Basically said that he's on the road to recovery. He's heading back home. He wanted to give a shout out to the guys that helped him out there. That was Mickey Smith, who was a filmer, editor for Against the Green, as well as musician, and Fergal Smith, who was a surfer and bodyboarder, and then Leroy Davies, who was another surfer that was there on the day, and they all kind of helped him out there and got him to the hospital. Yeah,
so shout out to Shambles, mate. Hope you get better soon. What do we got there? I haven't got my glasses on, which is probably an error because I'm having real trouble reading my sheets. APB, no, sorry, done it again. ABA have just released their tour vid for this year, so the 4 events are there. Some epic work from Michael Jennings and the crew at the ABA, really trying to push things forward for this year. No WA event, we did riff a bit on that last week. It is coming together though for next year, so look, we're as disappointed as you guys are over in the West, and we'd love to, more than anything, to see WA event at Mandurah being the way that it is. So fingers crossed for next year, guys. And but yeah, it's all looking good for the rest of the events, kicking off with D-Bar this year for the ABA.
That's it for our little report anyway. If you have any more kind of comments or questions on it, we will be happy to answer them. So fire away with what you want to ask, and we can see what we can do there. And actually that leads us to our next segment. It is the Soapbox. And that basically what I'm saying is send in your questions, send in your comments. Even give us a shout out, or give a shout out to, you know, something that you want to shout out to. And we'll,
yes.
we'll say it, and we'll see if we can answer it. And that's basically the whole point of this, is to try and interact more with the audience and with bodyboarding, and to, you know, answer more questions, you know, and stop leaving, I guess, so many questions out there.
Yeah, so there is a comments thing. You know, feel free to get on it. We'll try and reply as many as possible. And as you can see, my little slider thing is kind of working. It's a bit upgraded this week.
We do have one little shout out, but it only just says shout out, and that's Josh Dorick. Sup, Josh. And then we've also got Nate Costello asking how's the beach. We don't actually know because it's pretty darkness right now, but there were some waves this afternoon, so hopefully it gets better.
It was actually pumping this morning on the Goldie. Thanks for asking. I didn't get a surf in. A lot of the boys did at D-Bar. Shout out to that crew. I was busy putting this together. So that's Soapbox. So get involved. Thank you very much, guys. Moving on, what have we got next? We've got
the APB in Tahiti, basically. Tahiti's now only 1 month away.
slider change.
That's it. Change that slider. Spark Green Tahiti Challenge is exactly, well, a little bit under a month away now, and they're kind of just finalising a lot of things in terms of, I guess, you know, the trialists and the wildcards. We still don't know the official wildcards yet, and I guess it's still to be determined based on who actually has or is going to go to the event. So, and they're still working that out. They're saying it's the top 48 bodyboarders. There has been reports that a lot of the Brazilian guys are not actually going to make the trek out. That could be due to a lot of things, as the travel involved is quite a bit, and then I guess, you know, the star rating and the points involved. But hopefully, I guess we really want to see the Aussies get there. I want to see as many Aussies as possible in this event. It's an event that past 2 times that it ran was won by Aussies, that being Brian Hardy and Damien King. So we should keep that tradition going. I want to see another Aussie win it.
3 in a row for the Aussies.
That's it.
Let's bring it home, boys.
And there's all the details on our website, and they've also just kind of put up their basically a trailer clip, and it was done by Todd Barnes, who actually did the clips for Pipeline, which I was raving about a lot in our last episode, and he's done a pretty good one for Tahiti, I reckon.
Yeah, check out the trailer for Tahiti on the website, and we're hoping for an amazing comp, so we are down for that. And there is rumours that Sunshine Coast local, well, was Sunshine Coast, is actually heading over to ride for a new brand and some new sponsors. So that's a little tidbit for you guys.
Yeah. Who could it be?
Who could it be? A comp guru.
May have competed in Hawaii?
May have.
May have. So give us your guesses.
Yeah. Let us know who you think it is. All right. What are we up to now? This one's trucking along today because we were a little slow on last week, but here we go.
Yeah, it's a short week.
It is a short week. It's on a Wednesday. Yeah,
being Easter weekend, it's Wednesday, so we're kind of moving pretty quickly this time around. We might be a little bit longer next time. Might be a little bit faster. I don't know. See what works out best.
Who knows? All right. This next segment is called Into Club. All right, so we put this one together for all you club folk out there, because we want to give shout outs to the clubs. You guys are literally the grassroots of bodyboarding. And without the clubs, there would be nothing above it. So, you know, club level is where everyone gets started, and all, you know, world champions, everyone starts at a club level. So this segment's for you guys. I'm going to move the slider, I haven't forgotten. Just wanted to do the intro. So this
we are going to make the slider a little bit better, I guess, maybe.
This is low tech. This is what you call doing it on a budget. I had to steal the TV screen from my girlfriend, so she can't do her homework, so she's not too happy. That sounds really bad. She's not in high school. she's doing.
Are you sure?
Just digging a hole.
Anyway,
homework for work, homework.
Yeah.
Work, homework.
That's it.
So she's out. So.
But the benefit of this TV screen is that we can actually play some little bodyboard clips.
We can, and this week the clip comes from none other than GCBC, who put together a wicked clip, thanks to Taz Harnett. So he's chucked this together, and yeah, we're going to have a little watch while we talk through some of the club stuff. It's pretty blown out. Hopefully it's not too blown out.
You can see a little bit. Anyway,
temp difficulties, whatever.
If you haven't seen it, go check it out. We're going to have it up on our website. We're also going to have the results from the GCBC comp. They were supposed to put it up last night, but we're just kind of waiting on that.
Winnie! You!
But as you can see, it actually was pretty good conditions for an opening round.
Yeah.
Offshore, barreling D-bar. I mean, for a local bodyboard club, that's actually, you can't hope for much more than that.
No way, man. I'd love to surf these waves in a comp. I'd probably about do one spin, and that'd be me gone in the first round. But yeah,
you got to put on the rashie. You got to look kind of cool with the
exactly.
rashie out there. You get priority over when it's a D-bar. You know, most of the time people let you get the wave, so if you got the comp ration on, so it's pretty good just to even get like a 10 or 15 minute heat out at D-bar with you and 3 guys. It's kind of, you know, it's like the real feel. But also, the Sunshine Coast Bodyboard Club also had their comp on.
Shout out to those boys up the sunny coast.
They had pretty good conditions as well. It was at Ann Street. They kind of moved it. I think they were going to have a Kiwana originally, and that's what we reported. But it's since moved. It was at Ann Street Reef at Caloundra, and looks like it was a good call because they had a good waves for it. It's kind of offshore as well. Kind of similar to D-Bar. Maybe not as peaky as D-Bar gets, but still fun conditions. And then I guess the other comp that was on was the Foster Tuncurry. They had theirs at I don't know what beach they had it on there.
No, they got plenty of waves around there, and every time we see posts from the guys down at Foster Tuncurry, it always looks amazing waves. We chucked one up on our Instagram, which you can follow as well, and that pretty much just looks like ideal comp waves and comp conditions. So we were pretty jealous sitting back here. The boys at GCBC scoring, but the guys at Foster Tuncurry absolutely scored as well. And there were a couple of results that we did get through from those guys. They were kind enough to email them through. So to Dodsy and the crew down at FTBA.
So I guess we'll go through some of the winners. Rory Hill took out the cadets. That was the under-16s. Flynn Dunn won the under-18s in the juniors. Joel Cochran won the open men's. And then Josh Orish won the drop knee. And then Joel Cochran again won the masters. So Joel's killing it. Won 2 events Joel. On the day. And there was a few. They gave us a few waves of the days, which was pretty cool. One was I guess Adam Cheers. He came out of an impossibly deep barrel and then launched a clean roll out of it. And seen Adam Cheers actually surf last year at the Mystics comp. I'm pretty sure, and he's no slouch in the water. He does kill it.
One to look out for then, for sure, Adam. And
then Ben Fletcher apparently in his Hopens heat took off on wave, and then kind of had a nice left ball, did a big ARS. Apparently, everyone's pretty psyched on that.
Nice. Shout out to the boys there, and really well done.
Yeah. Also, I guess to all the other clubs, you know, if you do have results and whatnot, send them in to us. We will try and actually chuck them up and report on it, because it looks like, you know, we want to support grassroots bodyboarding as much as possible. This is where the guys that, you know, are the future world champions. They come from these local clubs. You know, ask anyone that's on the world tour now. They all did local clubs. They didn't just suddenly get good. So
yeah, exactly.
We want to see more of it, and we want to hear more of it and report more on it. So send it all through.
Cool. All right. Well, that leads us on to, as you can see there, Fully Framed, which is our little daily frame that we like to do. So this week's daily frame goes to this incredible shot, which is absolutely amazing. And my glasses are really should come in handy right now. I was just off the screen and I'm clicking my pen. I don't know what's going on. Matt Catalano is a photographer here. And this was taken a while ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was taken back in 2011 at the Box Pro. I actually did a little write-up on it about the daily frame. I ran into Matt when I was on the last night in Hawaii. It was just after the comp. Everyone was kind of relaxing, having some beers, having some chats. Finally got to meet Matt. I've emailed him quite a bit, and it's always loved his photos. He's an epic photographer. He's from New Jersey originally and moved to Hawaii, but he kind of travels the world and takes bodyboarding and surfing photos. Anyway, he was telling me that, you know, he has this shot, that was his favorite shot, and it never got a look, and it was from way back in 2011, and it was, he didn't know who the writer was. All he said, it was a guy called Duck, and, you know, I didn't know who Duck was myself. People in West Oz are probably screaming, saying everyone knows who Duck is.
Yeah.
But I didn't know who it was, but he showed me the photo on his phone, actually, and even from that, I liked it. I was like, send it through to me. And we'll give it a run. We'll see what can give it some digital life there.
So it didn't make print, unfortunately, Matt. We're sorry about that. Probably my fault. Sorry. Or maybe the editor's fault, which I can blame it on.
Yeah. This is well before me there, so this is 2011. We can just blame the editor.
Yeah. I'll just blame the editor then.
Who was that? I
don't know. I was there, but I can't remember.
But it was cool. It was just before the Box Pro, and apparently like the heats were about to start. But the sun was just kind of coming up over in West Oz, just peeking over the mountains there, and it had like a golden glow over the reef at Box. And then next thing, Duck, Nathan Ducasse, just kind of drops into a box pit, and the sun's kind of shining perfectly on him, and he's looking up at it, and it's friggin' amazing. Like it's a great shot, and there's a 3-shot sequence on our website, so head on to it to have a look and appreciate it, because it is worth, it's worth a look.
Guess what I forgot to do?
What's that?
Move the slider.
Oh yeah, move the slider.
How bad is that?
That's alright. I thought you forgot to like press play on the video, and we were just talking to ourselves for a while there.
That would have been horrendous. Right, so that's that little segment. So thanks to those two, to Nathan and to Matt. And what are we moving on to now? What have we got?
Moving on to the Holding On premiere.
Oh, there it is. Holding On.
That's cool.
That does look kind of cool.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure how they'd come up. Right, I've got to move it again.
So while you move it, Holding On just kind of wrapped up their premiere tour, and they sent us basically a bunch of pics from all the prems from all around. They had 15 screenings, and they had 4 that sold out. And they sold more than 2,000 tickets, which is pretty epic.
That's amazing.
2,082 I think was the final number. And then
good work, guys, to everyone that went along.
Yeah, excellent. It was awesome that everyone kind of showed up and showed their support. I mean, when I went to the Cronulla premiere, it was an epic night for bodyboarding. Everyone was psyched on it. And I think even Chris Stroh, who's he had a lot of the archival footage from it all. He said it was the biggest night for bodyboarding that he's ever seen. Yeah,
I was at the Coolangatta Prem, and that was incredible too. Basically, all the crew turned up for that, so we threw a little Instagram up of all those boys having a ball at that Prem, and the same story from pretty much every Prem around the country. I know Simon, Trent, and the crew were super supportive of everyone that came out to buy a ticket and have a look. And the big news is that the DVD is now on sale. So you can grab the DVD from all good bodyboard stores.
I'd recommend getting it for sure, because even if you saw it at the premiere, usually there's a lot of yelling, a lot of hooting. You don't actually get it is a doco. There's a lot of interviews happening, and it's always good to kind of sit there after it and listen to everything they said. And there's some awesome calls and stuff made during the doco.
And just at the end of the film, sort of what were your final thoughts on the film itself?
I loved it. I mean, I gave a 5-star review on the Riptide website. I thought it was awesome. Like they went into all the parts about ski kits that I didn't know about, and I guess a lot of people didn't know about. It was just there's always you heard stories and whatnot, and there's a lot of stuff that were in the old Riptide magazines about it. But they kind of went pretty in depth. They had good interviews with with Nugget and with Ballard and with all the crew, and it was some amazing stuff. And then there's like the insight into Wingnut when he was kind of lost and wandering around New York.
Yeah, that was a crazy story.
Yeah.
That's nuts. It's worth it just for that little nugget of information.
Yeah, not many people knew that. And then always loved the ripping the pit section.
Oh, how good is ripping the pit?
It's amazing. Brett Young, he was killing it. And then his fashion actually in that music video with the yellow and red, it kind of looks like a lifeguard flag kind of happening there. It's got awesome fashion, but it's actually probably like a fashion that you'd see in the clubs at out in Sydney or something these days. So he was a pioneer.
Oh, true pioneer.
Not just in bodyboarding.
Those speed dealers were wicked. So yeah, basically, we'll move on. There are a couple of little comments and little questions coming through, so thanks. Keep them coming through. We're sorry if we've missed a couple. Anything there, Michael, that we can have a bit of a...
Got a question, is Simon Thornton a chance in Tahiti? That was from Regan Moore.
Regan, thanks for the question, mate. Any idea? I'm assuming so. He lives there, so he could be definitely a chance for one of the Tahitian local wildcards. That's for sure. Yeah, there's 3 APB wildcards. There's 2 local wildcards to go. They've already confirmed that the first 2 wildcards was Tahurai Henry and Angelo Ferrer. And I guess the other 2. I guess Thordo should be a prime candidate for that, because no one surfs it more than him. He shreds it there. Well, there's probably people that surf it as much, like the other guys that live in Tahiti. I guess so. They charge. I don't know. He's been there for a long time. Nico, though. Yeah. Okay. But is Nico going to be in it? No. Well, that could be another little thing. Nico Richard may not compete. Yeah. May or may not. Not confirmed.
Well, currently he's kind of traveling around Australia and having a good old time.
Yeah, he is. A very good time. Shout outs to Nico. How you doing,
Nico?
mate?
Where is he now, though? He's gone surfing somewhere. Is he gone to South Coast?
WA, I think he's heading over
WA?
to. So WA boys, keep an eye out for Nico Richard heading your way to charge some massive bombs soon. Anything else on there? What have we got? Thoughts on Shark Island getting canned? Pretty average.
I think it was a good call, simply because it wasn't big waves. Oh, you got to say something?
No,
Let's hear it.
No, I just saw how many times they canned it last year,
Yeah.
and there'd be a day, and it'd just be like, why are you not running it today?
Yeah, I agree. I think they do need to get it over and done with, but I guess they want the best.
I know they want the best. It's probably the right call. I think we've just been hanging out for the Shark Island Challenge for a bit too long. I'm just getting a bit.
It's been well over a year.
Yeah, I know. It's
Maybe
been ages.
Year and a half since the last
So
one.
I understand, it's probably not big enough for the boys over there. But let's hope, fingers crossed for a little pulse soon that is going to make it happen. But yeah, made probably a good call by Alex in the end.
Got a shout out from Sean Haag. Holding on Premier in Durban, South Africa was super successful. Shout out to Trent and Simon.
Oh, cool. Good to hear. Yeah, we saw like a little bit of updates on the South African Prem, so it's amazing that it made it all the way over there. I know that there's been interest from South Africa, but as well as you guys in the States and in Hawaii, in Europe as well, in Brazil. Also, guys in Chile, Portugal. France even, so we've had inquiries from all over the place. So yeah, it just goes to show what a successful move that was and how influential those guys were as well. Incredibly influential bunch of guys, so yeah, do yourself a favour and make sure you pick up a copy of that movie when you can.
That was awesome that Durban got a premiere. I was stoked to see that. They were like the most frothing boogies over there. Everyone from South Africa, every South African I meet that's a bodyboarder, just frosted crazier than anyone I've seen before.
Bunch of legends of South Africans as well. You guys rule.
You.
Alright, we got to move on though, because otherwise we'll be here all night and that's not good for anybody.
Yeah.
Including a pair of eyes over there that's giving me the death stare.
I'm trying to hand you notes.
Oh
Constructive feedback? No, kidding.
Oh, I'm bored. Oh no, we are. Oh, here we are. Alright. Cool.
So we're at...
hang on, just a quick, with the holding on thing, QCD boards, wingnut model, jump on qcdboards.com and check out the wingnut model. It's amazing. There's only a really limited run of those, so make sure you grab one. I spoke to Todd the other day. He's been frantically getting the orders ready to get out. He's had back orders since as far back as November last year, so jump on there, QCD boards, and grab yourself a wingnut model before they're gone.
Also check out my interview with Simon about the premiere and some of the cool stories that they had about the boys, Nugget and all the old crew kind of getting up to mischief during the tour. Couldn't say too much on it, but there was a midnight surf involved at one stage. So.
Always good fun. Alright, we're moving on though. Let's go.
Let's go. All right.
Keep it trucking. What do we got?
The next thing is Clip of the Week.
Clip of the Week! Clip of the Week. We need a theme song or something. I need like intro music. I want to bang an intro song. Hang on, I gotta move the slider.
Well, you're the musician. Maybe you can make something up.
Clip of the Week. CO2W for short, because it didn't fit on my slider because it's too budget. So I had to make it work.
So this week's
Clip of the Week. This week's Clip of the Week is drum roll. Nick Smith.
You. Tassie Boy.
Tassie Boy, and it was called.
It was called A Year in Travel.
And it was basically a year in travel.
Yeah, basically, it was back in 2013, so it's kind of an old clip. But, well, he's had it for a while. He hasn't actually released it until now. But it's all his footage from when he spent 7 months kind of traveling the world. He went to, he started off at Indo, which is like the main destination, went over to Sumatra and surfed around there. And then he kind of went to a bit off the beaten path. He went to a lot of cold places. He went to Iceland, and then went to Ireland, and then Scotland. And
the full clip is incredible, so jump on the website and check it out.
Yeah.
I've just cut together this little part that was just the end of the clip from Scotland, which was one of my particular favourite parts.
That was my favourite part. It's pumping. He scored it.
I
don't know where
that
this wave
thing
is.
Look at that.
There's some
Oh my
comments
God.
on it saying, you know, it looks like Shark Island. I can kind of see that. It has that real peak at it, like Shark Island, and then kind of it
doesn't rap as hard as Shark Island.
yeah, it doesn't dredge at the end
No.
like Shark Island, but still epic wave.
Yeah.
And it's only him, and it looks like there's only two other guys out. It makes me want to kind of go to Scotland. I don't know about that cold water. It'd be freezing.
No. Well, you'd rug up and you'd be alright, but a few of the other boys, I know the limited edition team headed there a couple of years ago. We did a story on them. Their clip's pretty cool as well. But Nick, congratulations on Clip of the Week, mate. You haven't scored anything because I literally have no money. So just a shout out from me.
Yeah, and you know, Nick's no stranger to big waves. Yeah, he's from Tassie. He surfed shipstones like massively.
Yeah.
He's just taking on waves like that. It just comes, you know, second nature for him.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome.
Ah, it is awesome. So that's just going to roll on in the background while we roll on.
We've got a little shout out from Heath Stevenson Werner. It says shout out to Coffs Coast Bodyboarding Association. Check out their Instagram page. Riders of the Month, whatnot there.
Yeah, cool.
Send us results. We wanna put more up about it.
Yeah, cool. Any updates on the next mag, guys? That's another story for another day. I will get to that, but just not in our live broadcast. So I'm just going to leave it there.
To be
hectic.
continued.
That's to be continued.
Yeah.
How long have you guys been on Facebook? This is our second episode, so thanks for tuning in. This is episode 2.
Yeah.
Number 2. So hopefully we have many, because we like this format.
Yeah, this is fun.
Good fun.
What are some of the other calls? Where are you boys at? We're at the Gold Coast, based in Burleigh, basically, and but Riptide's worldwide.
Yeah, we're worldwide, so anyone can just tuning in.
Yeah.
All you guys across the world, just let us know. Josh Dorwick wants a shout out, so shout out to Josh. Hope you're doing well, mate, and hope you've been scoring waves. And yeah, just a couple of reports in that East Coast has been firing, which we know. Of course, that Winston swell's been massive. So
Yeah.
man, this clip is so good. Jump on the website and check it out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that left looks like fun.
it does. Sorry, we literally get carried away here. How long has this got to go?
A little while.
A little while. Oh,
Just a bunch of backwash now.
I reckon that's pretty close to the end. There we go. Awesome. Alright, so where are we up to?
That's it. Well, we move on to our last section. 2 cents.
2 cents. Yeah. How do you like me now? 2 cents. So this is just my little 2 cents for the week in bodyboarding. Actually, this week's 2 cents is a positive one. I was really amped to receive some of the feedback from actually episode 1 that we did. Over 3,500 of you guys tuned in, which was absolutely incredible. We couldn't actually believe that we got that many views, and it just really inspired us to do number 2 today, and hopefully continue these in the future for you guys.
Yeah. If you have any suggestions on what you want to see, we'd be keen to find out. If there's anything that you think you want to hear about or think we should put in there, keen to do that.
Yeah. So I was really inspired. Bodyboarding's gone through a tough couple of years. The World Tours had to rebuild. The ABA Tours having to rebuild. I know tours all around the world are really struggling. But the amount of support and the amount of positive comments and messages from you guys out there is just been really inspiring. So I just encourage you guys to keep surfing and keep getting out there and keep going to your club comps and all of that. And this sport will come back because it's way too cool not to. And there's some good plans ahead. And if the guys keep pushing themselves like they did in Hawaii, and they're going to in Tahiti, will be no time before we hit the mainstream. So
yeah, we'll have I've had some people actually come up and tell me, people that are right in the industry, saying the industry's actually been in the best state that's been in a long time right now.
It's good to hear,
and that's from very reliable sources.
So cool, guys. We're going to leave it on that note, and thank you so much for tuning in. I've just been Jack Field, give us a shout out. Tuning in from King's Cross. Yeah, Jack. Got us before we left.
Phew. No lockout.
And Jason Westbrook. Tension 10. Yeah. Actually, tension. Ooh.
Oh, what about, should we ask the question, what's your favourite tension?
What's your favourite tension? Let us know for next week and we'll put the results up next week. Yeah. Let us know in the comments what your favourite tension was. We'll poll up the results.
What's your favourite tension?
Oh man, I was watching 3 the other day.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah, so that's probably my fave.
Mine's
Going
actually,
back to old school.
mine's 4. I think that's the best intro to any bodyboarding show I've ever seen.
We're gonna have to have a tension. We'll do an episode on tension just for you guys.
Yeah, yeah.
But we'll wrap it up and thank you everyone for tuning in.
Yes.
And
you.
this is me signing off and getting out of the chair to stop it. You.
We both walk away.